Hello again, grade 12. Let us continue. It's like 4 a.m. now. Anyway, I'm on duty, so at least my duty is not as hectic as it should be. So I know I'm going to be spending the day sleeping and dozing off. But I've also got some tasks in the afternoon. So yeah, I felt it's best if I do this now so that I don't have to worry about it at all. Because some of you want to be ascertained whether they did well so that they can speed up and fortify for paper 2, all right? This is not to destroy your confidence, but to tell you how much you did so that you can fasten, the knots or the nuts for paper 2, which there's a lot of exercises in the channel, a lot of explanations, guys. Use these, trust me. Don't look around too much. But what you come across, make sure you understand. Don't just bounce over it and wish you had paid attention. Let's look at this question 5 quickly. It's a bit interesting. It's not that much difficult after all. In the diagram, the graphs of f of x is equal to the log of x to base a and g are drawn. Okay. Now let's see. We can see that the logarithmic graph obviously is going to be this one, right? And the label gives it off. But we know that the x-intercept is going to be at exactly 1. So q is at 1. Or maybe we can write the coordinates of q. This is 1 and 0. And we know the coordinates of r are going to be 0 and 1 also. Because we can see this is essentially the reflection of f in the line y equals x, which makes it an inverse of f. Okay, it's an exponential graph. Now, graph of f passes through this point P with coordinates of 4 and 2. Q is the x-intercept of f, and r is the y-intercept of g. So we could already look at those. So the exponential graph is usually easy, guys, so no need to worry at all there. So everything is fine. So let's just jump in. Okay, maybe let's label our graphs. F of x is equal to the log of x to the base a, and then we've got g of x, which we can see it's an inverse of this. So an inverse is going to be a to the exponent x. Okay, great. Why? Because we were told this is symmetrical about the line y is equal to x. That is the inverse line. Okay. This is quick. Now write down the coordinates of p prime, the image of p on g. So we know that this point right there is going to be a point over there, perhaps, which we can call p prime. Maybe let's write it better. That p prime is going to be the opposite of those coordinates. So it's going to be 2:4. So basically p prime is going to be that one. So you get a mark for switching those coordinates. So basically on the inverse, we just switch the coordinates. Interesting. Now, it says show that a is equal to 2. Why did I have 6 now? So 5.2. We know that f of x is the log of x to the base a. Now through point P, 4:2, it is such that 2 is equal to the log of 4 to the base a. Then we convert to exponents. So the a takes its position and the exponent shoots up to its position. So this implies that essentially a squared is going to be equal to 4. Then we've got a squared equals 2 squared. Now once we've got powers with the same bases, we simply equate the exponents. Now we've got the same exponents, When we have powers with the same exponents, we simply equate the bases. So a is 2. But remember, for an even exponent, it means this can be plus or minus 2. But in a logarithmic function or an exponential function, the base is never less than 0. It's usually the coefficient of the base, not the base itself. So the base can only be positive. So that's why we accept a positive answer there. Just be careful though. When the question says the values of a, we're going to say plus minus 2. But we know in this setup, where we're dealing with functions, the base can never be negative for a logarithmic function or an exponential function for that matter. So that is the story, guys. So here what matters is the substitutions and the answer. The gymnastics is your problem. So 5.3, we are to write down the equation of g in the form y. So we know that g is such that y is equal to, now it's going to be the exponential function is 2 to the exponent x. Okay, great, we don't have a problem. So we are getting just 1 mark here. 5.4 says t is a point on f in the first quadrant. So my student already indicated where this possibly is going to be the point t. Where tr is parallel to the x-axis. So tr, which is this distance, is parallel to the x-axis, making it a horizontal line. So we know that on this graph, for this to be at 1, the y value is 1. So what should be the corresponding x value? It should be a 2. So t is basically 2 is to 1. Obviously, you just substitute into the original equation. If you've got log of, say, for example, 2 to the base 2, because we know that the base is 2 from this calculation, this is effectively 1. So that means our y is 1 in that manner. So that's why I know there's a 2 there. So these are things you need to be quick about, guys. No messing around, please. Now look at that. Can you see this point? If the x coordinate is 2, can you see that p prime has the x coordinate of 2? So it means this is a vertical line. So if this is a vertical line, this line must be parallel to the y-axis, and it will be perpendicular to the x-axis at some point. Okay, so that is the story that we get. And then we are told here, calculate the area of triangle RTP prime. So there is our triangle. But what do we notice about this triangle? It's a right-angled triangle. So from R to T, it's 2 units. It's horizontal. So we can see that this distance here is basically 2 units. But now this one here is going to be 4 minus 1, which is 3 units. So this is simple. So we've got the base, we've got the height, we sort it out nice and easy. So we know that our area of triangle, or first of all, let's do this. We can say, well, we know that T is the point, basically 2 is to 1. This is by inspection. I mean, we don't need to justify a lot here. I think it's very important. And then we can say this implies that T P prime is a vertical line, because we know that x at t is equal to x at p prime. And for that to be a vertical line, it also means therefore that tp prime is perpendicular to tr. All right, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. Was there any place where we were asked the coordinates of r? We can say also R is, perhaps we were supposed to start with point R. I'm going to give you a proper way of answering, guys. So we could easily say that point R here has the coordinates 0 and 1. Why do we know this? This is an x-intercept, not x but y-intercept of G. That is a standard one because it's the standard exponential graph. No shifting took place there. So we can say here also, we know that T is that point, right? Right. So this one is by inspection. Okay, so we don't need to do too much here. And if we discover that the coordinates are the same like this, because we know point P prime was the first one. So if the x-coordinate is 2 and the x-coordinate of T is 2, it means that is the story. So what can we say? We can say then area of triangle RTP, which is required to prove, it's going to be half the basal side, which is RT, multiplied by the height, which is going to be TP prime. Okay, that's easy. Half into RT, we can see is the horizontal distance from R, which is just 2 units. We don't even need to calculate that. This one is going to be 4 minus 1. At least we can show a bit of calculation there. Now we can see that these two, they do the thing. So this is basically 3 square units. Okay, very, very nice question. Not too difficult, but this is what you could get in the NBT. So can you see, knowing geometric figures doesn't disappear from the student's mind, and all these analyses, all the analyses that I've been giving when solving most of questions in this channel, now they come in handy. So if you've been following this channel faithfully and fruitfully at the same time, meaning gaining something, I'm sure you sailed through this exam if you wrote it. Anyway, guys, that was 3 marks. So where are these? We needed to pinpoint the coordinates of R. We needed to pinpoint the coordinates of T in 4. And the final answer, 4 marks. And essentially the substitutions here. All these other stories were just, implications per se. So what matters is the substitution. Okay, those are the 4 marks in a nutshell. And that gives us a total of 9 marks in this question. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.